Hey, Jigs are tears. Thanks for stopping by. And yes, I'm still in bed. I'm having a semi-lazy day today, so I'm sleeping in. I woke up a little while ago and I continued listening to my audiobook, which is Combating Cult Mind Control by Stephen Hassan, an excellent book which I highly recommend. Stephen Hassan was a member of a cult himself. They're called the Unification Church. Colloquially, they were called the Moonies after their leader called Sam Young Moon, a Korean man. I hope I got his name wrong. I probably completely butchered it, but anyway. So he now helps people to exit cults and also to overcome the mental and emotional damage that was done to them from their cult experience. And it is a really, really good book. And he made a really excellent and profound point. He said that he believes that people have a really, really strong, inbuilt, strong like sense of self that can't be completely suppressed. Although cults and high control groups try to do just that by modifying your behavior, uh, the information you have access to, your thoughts and your emotions. It's called the BITE model, BITE, behavior control, information control, thought control, and emotional control. And they try to suppress your personality through those types of control. And he gives several experiences in his book of people he's been involved in helping, and their friends and family will often say about them that their personality is completely changed. But every now and again, there'll be like a glimpse of their former true self that comes through in something that they say or do. And that's really, really true. I've experienced that myself. Even the individual themselves will say that every now and again they'll think something that is more aligned to their true self than their cult personality. Um, yeah, as I said, I've experienced this myself when I was a Jehovah's Witness. There'd be certain things that just didn't sit right with me, and there'd be like this voice in the back of my head saying, "This isn't right. This doesn't make sense." Or there'd be certain things that you're required to do as being a witness that I just wasn't motivated to do. Not that I was actively resisting them, but I just wasn't motivated to do them. They didn't feel right. You know, I had to force myself to do it or feel it or believe it or whatever. So if that experience is familiar to you, if that sounds like something you're going through or have been through, I just want to say, don't ignore that. That's your true self. That's your real personality trying to reassert itself, and it's really, really important that you listen to it. As Steve Hassan said in his book, your true personality can't completely be overwritten. It can be suppressed in varying degrees, but it can't be completely overwritten. So when you hear that voice in the back of your head and when you hear that, you know, gut instinct, listen to it. I don't know what it's like for other groups, but for witnesses, we were actively told to ignore it. We're told things like your heart is treacherous, your heart is trying to mislead you, you know, not to trust your own instincts, don't lean upon your own understanding, and all of these things, as a way of trying to suppress that voice in your head telling you that something isn't right. Listen to your voice. Trust your gut, trust your instincts. You know, it may even be your subconscious mind that's already worked out that you're in a cult. Because your subconscious mind can do that. Your subconscious mind can see things and hear things and understand things and make connections that you're not aware of, but that will come out in different ways, you know. So listen to that voice. Listen to that voice. when I was a witness, so witnesses have this teaching called the generation teaching, which is supposed to be a way of a marker of determining that we're in the last days and that the end is close and blah blah blah. And the understanding of this generation teaching has changed so many times over the years. Um, at the moment, there's like the prevailing idea is the overlapping generations, which basically means that somebody who's a child can be in this counted as the same generation as somebody who's like elderly in their 80s or 90s, which is absolutely ridiculous. You know, everybody knows what a generation means, and it's not that. But a couple of understandings before that, because it's changed so many times while I was still a witness, the understanding of the time was that the generation where Jesus in the scripture said, this generation will by no means pass away before all these things occur. The understanding then was that the generation was a generation of people who had a particular mindset, and that mindset was one of resistance to God or resistance to his teachings or something like that. I might be getting it a little bit wrong, but this is what I remember. And I remember discussing this with one of my elders and saying that it makes absolutely no sense. How can you say that this generation won't pass away before these things happen, when it's impossible for that generation to pass away because there will always be people who have that mindset of resistance against God? It's impossible for that generation to pass away. There will never come a time when everybody in the world is open to, believing in God. So it made no sense. It was just like an infinite goalpost. And he was just saying to me, you just got to trust in Jehovah and trust in the governing body and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, so you just put it to the back of your mind. And as a witness, you have to do that a lot. You have to put a lot of things to the back of your mind because there's just so much that just doesn't sit right or doesn't make sense. You know. So what I want to tell you today is basically just don't do that. Don't put things to the back of your mind. Question things. Allow that inner voice in you to be heard. Listen to it and trust your gut. That's your true self trying to re-emerge. Or it could be your subconscious trying to wake you up, telling you that things aren't right. So don't ignore it. Don't put it to the back of your mind. You know. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say today. Really short video. I hope this helps someone, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.